This week, you've probably seen it on my clips and in some of the descriptions on social media. I am up to something behind the scenes. What am I working on? Well, I'm working on a community. And you might ask, why? And it's a good question. One of the things that I see out there is people who are looking to do better all the time. And it'll be something like they'll listen to podcasts and they'll read books, or they'll maybe even attend a course or a seminar. And generally what happens is when they finish any of these particular things, with maybe say the exception of the podcast, they'll get massively G'd up. They'll be massively motivated by that course. They'll feel motivated and energized. And maybe they've done the course over the weekend, and by the time Thursday, Friday comes round, they're already gliding back down, and then they head back into default. With the exception of the podcast generally is something that they can listen to regularly, but very rarely is it a constant topic of maybe the content comes out once a week. How do they get that refresher all the time? And what you find is, and what I speak about mainly is mindset. Because on this path and journey that we go on, there's things that we do, and what's the biggest thing that causes the slip? And you might have seen the post that I put up in the post is to the effect that it's not one day or one event that shot down your potential or is the reason you're not where you want to be in life. It's lots of little decisions to take the comfortable approach or the easy route that sort of chip away, and they keep you from who you want to be. And that's the person that's at the maximum potential. So the question is, how do we get there? Like, why is the courses, the self-help books, the content out there, why is people going backwards? Why do they end up back in default? Why do they keep going to courses? Why do they keep needing to buy more books? But yet they struggle to get the result. And it made me think, because it's a good question. And I thought to myself about what the culture would be. Because if you look at cultures, what you're looking to do is get a group of people that have the same beliefs and principles as you. And that is something that we see in, say, religion. Religion's an easy one that we all are familiar with, that there's a group of people that believe in something that's bigger than them. They follow a set of principles, and they have a place that they go to. They can congregate. They can meet people that are like themselves. They might go to church or chapel or whatever the building represents their faith. So what other cultures is there? Well, there's work cultures, but the corporate culture is generally can be varied. So like any culture, there's some good ones, there's some okay ones, and there's ones that can be a mixed bag. The culture within the corporate environment really sort of curtails to your corporate life, and sometimes it doesn't have a positive spillover to other aspects of your life. And then you look at other cultures, say for instance like football. So people will support a team, they'll be part of a bigger group of people that go and support the team effort. They'll travel all around the world, they'll buy their shirts, scarves, programs, and basically support what they're doing, but they feel part of something bigger than them. So the community is about having a culture that, imagine you want to get more out of yourself. And let's say, for instance, you've read some books. Let's say that you've listened to some content. And let's say that you've even went to a few courses, but you've had this boom up with motivation that trickles down, this whoo up with motivation that trickles down, and it keeps doing this, and you find this, you're not continuing up. So how do we do that? How do you continue that upward path? And I believe that's where you need to develop some place that you can go where you're not slipping back down into your default. You're constantly on the way up. Now, it's not a straight line, because like anything, it's a battle every day where you go to war with your mindset, and you want to have the better mindset, and the weaker part of your mindset wants you to quit, give in, take the easy road. And that's a battle that we face. Now, just imagine that there was a place, an environment where you want to get more out of yourself. And when you go out and you do these self-help books, or you go to these courses, or you go to these seminars, or you watch a video series, or you do an online course. That's great, but see, if you're doing it yourself, it can be quite lonely. And it's lonely, especially if you are the only one in your circle of friends and family that are planning to do this. So you might feel completely isolated. Where do you go if you want to have a culture where the people are just like you? They want more out of themselves. Where can you learn from their mistakes? Where can you learn from what they did well? Where can you win from the examples that they've given, the stories that they've told? Where can you help each other? If you've got a set of strengths, you could help each other out. Well, that's what's important about a community. And the double-edged sword of technology is that technology used improperly can distract us tremendously. But also, on the flip side of that, technology used extremely well with focus and purpose can connect all of us anywhere in the planet, can connect us all. So you imagine if we built something where we could say, hey, look, here's a mindset community, and you can come in, and the whole purpose of being in here is we are collectively as a group going to squeeze every bit of potential out of you. This is the Mecca. This is the place. This is your church or chapel or your football stadium. This is the place that you come to do this. And there's going to be people just like you. So you're not alone. You're part of the bigger group. And collectively, they've got untold years of experience, including good experience and bad experiences that you can tap into. So that's going to eliminate the problem of feeling isolated. It's going to eliminate the issue of constantly having to revisit courses. It's going to eliminate looking for the answer because you've completed the 4-day course. And eventually you realise that you need to go to another 4-day course, but you don't seem to be getting out of the bit. And that is the purpose of having a course in a community. So why is this needed? Well, first of all, if you look at just the surface level, there's a gap. There's a gap between the people out there that are doing it and the people out there that want to do it. And there's lots of material and content for people that want to do it, but maybe they're struggling with the application of how to do it. And that leaves a gap where you can offer a place that they can find a way that works for them to implement the things that they want. And the whole purpose of it is that you can go there, and instead of having to go through an untold amount of books or continue to perpetually go through courses, there's an interaction that you can have where you can find the things that work for you will be within there. And there's interaction in terms of weekly calls, questions and answers. You can suggest your top topics that you've got that are either good or maybe that you're stuck on. And it's that interaction that's going to shortcut or leapfrog a lot of the problems that people have faced in the past. If I think back to when I started and it was primarily books. So the internet wasn't what it is today. It was there, but it was in its infancy. It's obviously evolved rapidly and quickly over the years. But the primary place that you would get information is you would buy DVDs or you'd buy books. So you would read the books or watch the DVDs. And there was some audio CDs and things like that you could buy. And I think back then the access to information was more limited in terms of there was very few outlets for the information. So you were fortunate if you stumbled across them. In today's world, what we've got is we've got an overload of information